He said he has not endorsed Kamala Harris yet because, quote, you don't hire someone unless you give them an interview, unquote. Is that all it takes? Will he endorse Harris after today?
I think that he is doing his job representing the Teamsters, which is he is making it clear that they aren't committing to a particular party just because of a party affiliation. But what he cares about is who is going to be best for workers, who's going to be best for unions. Now, the reality is that a lot of the things that he wants and that he wants for the Teamsters, such as making it easier for other workers to join a union, to join the Teamsters, those kinds of things he's more likely to get out of Vice President Harris in the same way he's been more likely to get support for unions out of President Biden. You even had, as you noted, President Trump sort of giggling with Elon Musk, which is, the way to keep workers in line is fire them if they threaten to organize or they threaten to strike. That's not going to win any favors or support from the union. So I would be surprised if we don't see a Teamsters endorsement of Kamala Harris. But I think it's also worth noting how, tough they're being about saying you don't get it for free. We're making sure that you're out there representing the interests of unionized workers.
And that's the way we need to be as black people. It's a great format to follow, and I don't know why we don't get it. The Teamster president is doing his folks a good service, and he in a few interviews has been speaking about his membership and saying, hey, we got a lot of Republicans and just as many Democrats, and we also have independents. And after the meeting today, I think they're going to get together and have some kind of a vote. And by Wednesday, they'll determine which party they'll be actually endorsing. I think it's pretty interesting, though, the approach he's taking, because all the other unions, the major unions in the United States, just endorsed Kamala, and they usually do. They just go and endorse the Democrats. She just let 10, 15, 18, however damn many you want to count, illegal immigrants in the country. If I was a union, none of the unions should have supported her. Illegal immigrants are not something that's going to help strengthen your union. And for her to allow that to happen on her watch would be a reason for me not to endorse her. You can't just become pro-union. You can't just become black. You have to really be that from the inside out. And I don't care who you hung around or where you went to school or how your friends or people who like you view you. You're being viewed very bad by ordinary black people, and some of them are supporting you, Kamala, but they know you're not doing the right thing for them. It's obvious. We're just watching, and we're seeing you as you go on your little campaign tour, and the repetitiveness of your speeches is going to be a major problem.
Well, yeah, to your point, Betsy, Sean O'Brien called that economic terrorism, the ideas propagated by Donald Trump and Elon Musk in that X conversation earlier this summer. If we could just examine, though, the year we have seen, it was a Teamsters strike with UPS, an agreement that had to be made between the UAW and the automakers, now Boeing with 33,000 workers on strike. If we do see a Harris presidency, would you expect that kind of behavior, unions trying to exercise more leverage over these companies with the support of whoever's in the White House to continue?
Well, I think that's sort of a complicated question. I don't think that whether workers strike or don't strike has anything to do with who's in the White House. What I think has happened over the past year is we have seen growing support for unionized workers from the public, which has increased the bargaining power of unionized workers and unions. And I think that a lot of employers have gotten themselves caught a little bit off guard by the fact that, well, their unionized workers are going to use that increased bargaining power. And if they're not getting what they want, they're going to strike. Well, think about something like the UAW. The UAW came to the table and basically gave up everything when it looked like the auto industry might collapse. And what they saw was, real wages that had been stagnated for quite some time. And then they said, hey, you guys are doing great now. We want more. And I think that the sort of initial stingy response they got, did not match the amount of bargaining power they currently had.
And the stinginess had been going on for a long ass time. So yeah, when you start breaking bread and opening up the purse strings, people start looking inside and going, well, how long have you been holding out? Longer than you should have been. And how much have you been holding out? And were you being fair and basically negotiating in good faith with us? So yeah, they want more money. Once any chance you get in labor, you want to take it. You don't have time to be worrying about the boss's profits. Not at all.
You're right that it's a little bit helped when you have someone in the White House that's on their side. But I think the real issue here is are we going to reach a new equilibrium where unions and firms can bargain together and reach compromises without needing to strike?
Yeah. So just so you guys can see, I really admire that guy, the Teamsters. He's popped up on my radar probably about a year and a half ago. I think he took over the Teamsters about 2 years ago. And I've been kind of watching him. I just like his little bold approach. And he really sounds like he's fighting for his people. And that's what we need as black people. It's a great model to follow, if you must. And it's so basic, and it's what everyone else in America does. I want this. I'll give you this. Deal. That's how it goes. Right now, I would like someone to explain to me what kind of deal we got going with Kamala. We'll give you our vote. Thank you. That's not a deal. It's not a damn deal. She ain't offering us nothing but to be a part of her opportunity economy. And I want you guys to keep saying that. Opportunity economy. Because that'll fade. As soon as this election's over, you won't hear that shit again. Opportunity economy. And if you do, they're going to try to add some stuff to it. But opportunity economy means nothing. It has no substance. Go to her website. It means nothing. She's just making up words like that thing Biden was doing. Biden, as long as he's been in politics, nobody's going to accuse him of some things. He's kind of, just by being an old ass white man, people kind of have a level of respect and just like, fuck, he must know what he's doing. He's been in there 60 years or whatever. But she doesn't have that yet. She could get there, but she's not there yet. She's going to have to get some credibility under her feet. She's going to have people really know who the hell she is. And with black people, I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen. If you ever find a presidential candidate who is allowed to go to a presidential debate and cry racism, and people around her whine about how the Republicans are going to talk about her and treat her because she's black, and she's just being disadvantaged and treated so bad because she's black, and she's accepting and admitting that racism is alive and well in presidential elections and in the United States, but it's not a fundamentally racist country, and the rest of them are fine. It's just me because I'm running for president. I get to use the race card, but they don't. That's why it's not in my agenda, because it's just an act. They're just begging and whining and screaming about nothing. But for me, yeah, the race card is real. When they call me the N-word or the tropes, remember she brought that out, the tropes that they bring up? What a horrible person. She's willing to capitalize and benefit off of racism being used against her by her opponent and by the world. And black people, though, they don't have that problem with that because they're not even in her agenda. Shine, no, nobody calls you guys that anymore. It's me, though, because I'm running for president. Yeah, that's our old Kamala. You guys pay attention there. She's pretty slippery. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.